Yeah, we do have a class called Building Trust. I have to thank Fernando Flores. Those in the Lean community would know him for bringing the idea to me. But when he brought the idea, I thought, yeah, this is actually crazy. Because if I ask pretty much anybody that was on a successful project, what made it successful? The answer is almost always, we had good trust in the team. Almost always. And here we are, supposedly the claim is one of the world leading construction education programs, and we do not have a class on trust. Yet, supposedly, it's the most important thing to pay attention to make projects successful. So, we fixed it. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah, thank you again to the last panel. I enjoyed it as well, quite a lot. So I wanted to just share a couple of reflections. Also invite you, just maybe if a few of you could have a key takeaway or a reflection, just a few words, could be helpful for us to sort of calibrate what we all experienced. I know we've said this before in previous Industrialized Construction Forum, where we've said, industrialized construction has arrived. But I feel actually a lot more, I don't know how you feel, Joko, I feel a lot more like that today, seeing just a wide range of examples and the maturity of the mindset, but also then the tool set, not just the digital tool set, but just the tool set in just how we manage projects, how we bring process design into the product design, how we thinking about products, what should be a product, what's the project, just all of that I saw really at a much higher level than we had seen before. So thank you to the speakers for bringing that experience to us, and then behind the scenes, as you all know very well, we see teams behaving very differently, and I think maybe from snowflakes we go to snowballs, and then it'll grow. And thank you for the call to action from the last team. Those are a couple of reflections for me. I'm curious if you are willing to share a quick reflection or takeaway. And yeah, please tell us who you are. And
yeah, I'll give one. Craig Curtis with Methuen Architecture up in Seattle, and for 5 years I ran building platforms for companies that came up many times today, Katerra. So 5 years of my life was given to that experience, and I don't regret 1 minute of it. It was fantastic. So for me, this was super inspiring to hear that the vision is still alive. A lot of the comments, or a lot of the terminology that I thought was really fresh and unusual, 5-10 years ago, now just seems commonplace. And we're just talking about this as if this is the way the industry is headed. So it was really inspiring. Thanks for putting this on again.
Thanks. Yep, Gene and Howard.
Gene Hodge with Mortensen. Yeah, I totally agree. Super inspiring day. There's a quote I have on my wall of my office, and it is, the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. And I felt like that was a message here. The companies that are really succeeding have a customer or some other program that is driving significant scale that allows them to build the organization to really do the amazing things we're talking about. And they've got integrated design capability. And so those are two big hurdles I think we still have to get the future to spread to all of the built environment.
Howard Ashcraft, Hanson, Bridget. I think each one of the programs actually showed something very interesting about their particular approach. But looking at all of them, I think one of the common sense is they all had a sense of purpose. There was something which unified them, whether it was providing housing to low-income families, hitting the fastest speed you could possibly do on data centers, driving quality, and there was a purpose that drove their organizations and their teams, regardless of the approach that they took. There were different approaches, but I think they all had a common purpose.
This is Andrea Valle from Bain. So I think one idea that's really interesting is these two lines, like parallel lines between project development and process development that Jerker talked about, because on the project development, you have like struggling with everyday problems, but the process development line that's on the organization structure is a different one. That's people that build knowledge, so you have continuous improvement, and through repeatability, you do better each time.
Yeah. And maybe I was just reflecting on that and why I made the comment, like it feels like industrialized construction has arrived, and also the other comments. I guess the way I realized in my head now is we are seeing companies that have actually built a flywheel for their work, for their business, that incorporates at least aspects of industrialized construction. I mean, that's what you guys did, right? That's what you said. That's, yes, we don't want to do it for free, but actually we're building a flywheel that will sustain us for a long time. But I saw that, I think you guys did the same in Chile, in a very different market segment, in a very different approach. And I think that's maybe what we hadn't seen so much before. And and others seem very close to getting to a flywheel. That's another way to, at least how I summarized it in my head.
Thank you. Hi, Shai. One take from my side today. I was super excited to start this morning with Buffy, representing a political nerd and not all other nerds. But it's still the elephant in the room in my mind. I think that we anyhow still design something to a set of rules that was not decided by the physics. It's decided by people, and the regulation really kills a lot of opportunities. We have the solutions, we have the technology, and there should be a common voice for all of us to just push the legislation, the regulation around simplicity, to get a better simplicity. Us as a company, we're there, we're hitting the cost, and we still can impact up to 20 to 25% of the overall cost of housing. So I'll be very happy to see the movement over there and pressure coming as a unified voice from everyone, because that's the second challenge.
I think, Jaakko Lessing, Stanford. I think a couple of my reflections is that I completely agree. We have seen many mature concepts, initiatives that really seem to work, and that's very inspiring. We started also talking about the local perspective and the sort of the global perspective. That's been very clear today, that this is not a regional or national movement. It's a global movement, and I think that's been even more clear today. And I think also that there will be a good reason for us to meet again next year, because we still have stuff to talk about, even after 12 years. we of course, it circles around the same topic, the same themes, but I think every year we learn a little more, and we see new initiatives, and we see new land winnings. So I think maybe that's a promise that we will gather here next year again.
Yeah, Baker's dozen, I guess. Okay, we'll take one more comment, and I'll wrap up, because we do have some snacks and some light refreshments across the way, across the hall, if you want to mingle and network and chat a bit longer. But we'll take one more comment.
Thank you. My name is Ben. The one thing I really appreciate about getting to come to this is, to your point. Oh, sorry. My name is Ben. I'm from Southland. One thing I really appreciate about coming to this is the global presence that's here. And so just want to, first of all, extend a really big thank you to the folks that have put in a lot of effort to get here for a day or two forum. That means a lot, and that provides a lot of value to what is being done here. And so thank you for putting forth that effort. And I know, you can clap for that. We've talked about this being the 12th one of these in a row, which is really cool. And I think to your point, this is starting to take some traction. And so another way to say that is it's starting to get cool, quote unquote. But also kind of one final shout out to the people that started doing this before it was cool and did it because it was a good idea, and did it because they were pushing the envelope and pushing the boundary. And so I think we had some really good representations of a lot of companies that have been doing this, and a lot of people taking big risks and doing really big things, ultimately to the point of doing something better than we've done it before. And so thank you guys for doing that and pushing the envelope there.
Thanks, Ben. We put you on the organizing team for next year. No, thanks for this final reflection. Yeah, if you have ideas what we should talk about on the 13th edition next year, I think infrastructure will be cool. Renovation, we have touched on these a little bit, but it's just initial ideas. But if you have suggestions of topics, let us know. So with that, again, a big thank you to the speakers. Thank you to Tiffany, the volunteer team, student side, Alvaro, Alyssa in the background for allowing us to just focus on the content. And as mentioned, we have some light refreshments and snacks across the way if you want to mingle for a little bit and network and catch up with anybody or meet some new people. And but I'll formally close the event. Thanks for participating, and hope to see you next year.